Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So today, this is also a part of our discussion regarding methods of research. Now, today we'll be discussing surveys, no? So ngayon, malalaman natin more of about what are surveys for, no? Para saan ba yung mga survey na 'yan, no? Uh, ano yung definition niya? Ano ba yung mga ways on how are we going to do surveys, no? So ngayon, i-discuss natin siya. Okay? So surveys, these are a type of research to collect the data and fact about a certain situation or issue from the target population existing in surroundings having relevance to the nature of study. So survey usually research is a strategy to study the relationship and the characteristics. So bakit nga ba tayo gumagawa ng survey? Usually we do surveys simply because uh, we want to gather data. Okay, we want to collect data. And you are already familiar with surveys, no? Kasi as an online students, ang dami-dami yung fini-fill upan na survey, lalo na halimbawa matatapos yung semester, no? Uh, this collected data kasi will be used in creating a research, or this research data would be used in creating a decision, no? Halimbawa, kailangan ba natin magbago ng strategy? Might be ganun, no? Halimbawa, in school, uh, ilang percent na ba yung gustong mag face to face, ilang percent na ba yung gusto pa rin ng online class. So we do surveys, no? This survey would differ from the population. Of course, may mga certain parameters 'yan kung kailan, no? Kung ilang percent ba yung kinukuha nyo sa population based on the number of students na meron. Okay? So, basically surveys are based on the desire to collect information. Usually, it is through questionnaire. Okay? Surveys are methods of data collection in which information is gathered through oral or written questioning. So, ibig sabihin, kahit survey yan, no, minsan oral yan. Minsan, di ba, may makikita, maybe you are familiar with this, no? Minsan, may kakatok sa bahay nyo, tatanungin, ilan yung number nyo sa family, no? So, that is a census survey na yon. Okay, considered na survey na yon. Halimbawa, another is, halimbawa, pupunta sa bahay nyo, tatanungin, willing po ba magpa-vaccine yung mga bata sa inyo? So, survey na yon. Through oral questioning. Okay? So, meron din namang written. Ayan yung mga fini-fill upan. Okay? So, data collection through survey involves persuasion of respondents, and then on some level, social interaction between the respondents and the research interviewer. A team effort of many people having diverse skills, or a survey are now used in all areas of life. For example, business, politics, agriculture, industry, education, and media. Halos lahat naman. Okay, halos lahat naman ginagamit ang survey, no? Okay? So, usually, bigyan ko kayo ng example. Usually, let's say for example, bago magtayo ng isang branch si Jollibee or McDonald's, lagi yang sa survey muna whether ilan yung population ng isang lugar, no? Kasi doon nila malalaman whether yung population na yon would suffice kung yung operation nung isang fast food, no, or kaya nung isang mall. So they always do survey, and halos lahat kasama, no? Halos lahat kasama. Why are we studying this? Because might be in the future you will be doing a survey. Okay? So, why survey? No? So ano nga ba yung purpose and uses niya? So, to provide someone with information, okay, to explain the situation. So, ito yung mga analytical surveys, no? To identify problem and paano masasolve, no? In this instances, hindi lang tayo nag-aano ha, hindi lang tayo what do you call this? Nagfo-focus in IT or in BSCMC, no? We are talking about in general, no? Kung bakit natin ginagawa yung mga survey, no? Okay? So to measure the change, ano ba yung dati, ano yung ngayon? So kagaya ng census na sinasabi ko, 'di ba? Halimbawa, from year 2010 down to 2020, nalalaman nila through survey kung ilan na yung population, no? Oh, right currently, no? Sa halimbawa ngayon yung sa ano natin, political, no? Sa politics nalalaman through survey kung sino yung parang kandidato na malakas, no? Tapos yearly pa sila dati, monthly pa sila nagre-release niyan, no? So based on SWS ganyan, no? There are companies that really do surveys, no? Kasi talagang if you're going to do survey kasi, especially on a large scale areas, medyo costly sila, medyo kailangan mo ng pera. Okay? Kasi the travel, the production, the operation, ganun siya, no? Another is to study attitudes, behavior, and habits. Okay? Yan. Another is to examine the cause and effect, uh, study of the characteristics, formulate a hypothesis, test a hypothesis, and also surveys do help for decision making. Madalas yan. So it would help in decision making. Okay? So we have types of surveys, no? Dito tayo sa mga types of surveys, no? We have descriptive survey. So a descriptive survey attempts to picture or document current condition of or attitudes. That is to describe what exists at the moment, no? So examples are surveys to determine the program taste, so the study to changing values lifestyle by the effect of some special type of program. Example na to, uh, meron ka halimbawang ini-implement na isang life-changing program, no? Halimbawa, parang pabahay, mga ganon, no? So, magsa-survey ka. Bakuna, yung mga ganyan. So, descriptive yan. So, what exists and describe at the moment. Okay? So, yan sila. Okay, so next is analytical. Ito, this is to explain why, no? Situation exists. So here we examine two or more variable to test our research hypothesis. How lifestyle affects the TV viewing habits, impact of war games on teenagers, yung mga ganyan. So merong analytical side. Okay? Kasi malay niyo yung activities niyo. Yung mga pinopropose nyo, your proposal would be just like this, no? Yung ganyan, magki-create kayo ng mga series of surveys. Medyo you have to think of the questions that you are going to include in your surveys, no? So some other types are factual. So respondents act as a reporter. Pag sinabi nating respondent, sila yung mga sumasagot, no? Opinion survey, yan yung mga parang, 'di ba, yung halimbawa, bigla na lang in-interview. Okay? O ano bang masasabi nyo? Bakit papalitan natin yung ganyan, yung mga ganon, no? Okay? Interpretative survey, why do you read newspapers? So, yung mga ganyan, no? Example ng mga yon. So, marami kasing type ng survey, no? So, it depends on on how are you going to do the survey or ano ba yung gusto mo ma-extract na data. Currently ngayon, medyo syempre, dahil lahat exhausted na sa online, medyo mahirap talaga mag-conduct ng survey kasi minsan, hindi naman na nila talaga binabasa and totoo yung mga nilalagay in a survey, no? So, steps in the process of survey research. So, ano-ano ba yung mga steps and process? So, first is develop hypothesis. And then, after you develop the hypothesis, ito yung mga questions like, do we really need this? Do we really need that? Okay? Yung mga ganon. So, masasagot yan using survey, no? So, decide what type of survey are you going to do would it be mailed, would it be interviewed, would be telephone, minsan sa daan, no? Actual, yung mga ganon. Okay, so currently yung mga 'yan minsan 'pag mail medyo matagal 'no, hindi man sasagutan 'yan. Minsan ang hirap pa kumuha ng mga email address 'no. So interview, magpapa-schedule ka. Telephone, minsan siyempre alam nila telephone, hindi rin minsan 'no, medyo ano, minsan mas okey pa rin talaga yung actual minsan. So write survey questions. So pagka okey na, you write the survey questions, then next is decide on the response categories. Ano ba 'yan, mga bata ba 'yan, mga matatanda, senior citizen, babae, lalaki. Okay, so yun yung mga i-aano niyo, response categories 'no. Then design the layout. Now, step 2 is how are you going to plan to record your data? Andiyan na yung survey 'no, makapal na siya, isang table na siya. Paano mo ire-record ngayon yung data? So what are you going to do to record the data? What are your plans in recording your data? Next is pilot test survey instrument, no? And then revise the instrument. Yung pilot test survey instrument, ito na yung survey form mo, no? Pero uh, pwede pa ring mabago in the long run, pwede pa ring mabago. So it depends dun sa situation kung anong, pero you could actually change pa yung research instrument na yon. Okay? Now, on step 3, decide on the target population. Are you going to do it in the whole Pampanga? Masyadong malaki. Angeles na lang, masyadong malaki pala. O Balibago na lang, masyado pa ring malaki. Diamond na lang, masyado pa ring malaki. So, nasa sa inyo yon. Decide on the target population. Kagaya nga ng sinabi ko sa inyo, the parameters for target population is pwedeng halimbawa, mga babae inside the Balibago, mga lalaki inside Balibago, yung mga ganon. So, nasa sa inyo yon. It depends on the type of research that you are aiming to. Next, get sampling frame. Okay, and then decide on the sampling size. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina, no? So, halimbawa, sampling frame mo, balibago, no? Tapos babae lang, no? Tapos yung age mo 6 to 12, no? Tapos may sakit, yung mga ganon. Those are ano, no? Malilimit ng malilimit 'yan. Yung frame na tinatawag natin diyan are delimiter, no? For you to limit the ano. Next, locate your respondents. Pwede mo na silang puntahan, no? Okay, conduct interviews, carefully record the data. Okay? Mahirap kasi talaga mag-survey kung halimbawa yung survey mo is, you know, yung mga based dun sa topics nyo, medyo hindi ko alam how are you going to do a surveys on that, no? Okay, after which, no, enter data into computers, isa-isa yan, no? Na-check all the data, perform statistical analysis on the data. So, lahat ng mga ginawa mo dyan, you are going to perform statistical analysis. Okay? Next is describe methods and findings in the research report. So, in describing your method and findings in the research report is parang you do graph, pwede yan, no? Average, pwede yan. Okay? Uh, how are you going to parang summarize your report? Okay? So, yon. Present findings for critic and evaluation. With this, no, hindi mo lang kung halimbawa, this is a paid research, no, halimbawa may nagbabayad sa iyo to conduct survey, ipe-present mo sa kanya ano yung findings mo. Okay? Ano yung evaluation, no? Pero if not, no, it's for your own consumption naman. Okay, so again, no, meron tayong 3 methods of survey. Meron tayong mailed questionnaire, personal interview, telephone interview. Minsan itong mga 'to, hindi na sila ginagawa, no? Yung yung personal interview na lang madalas. Yung mailed questionnaire kasi nga, 'di ba? Meron na tayong email, yung mga ganyan. So eto, no, isa-isahin natin. Mailed questionnaire is one of the most important data collection survey way back, no? Okay, pero ngayon halos hindi naman na. Okay, ayan, no? Through sulat, no? Baka pagka nakaka-receive kayo ng sulat, usually billing statement na lang ngayon eh, okay? Hindi na talaga questionnaire, okay? So yan. Advantage ng mga 'to, low cost siya, 'no? Ah, reduction in biasing errors, greater anonymity, accessibility, and less time on trained staff. So, imagine na lang halimbawa 'pag gano'n mo 'yan, usually hindi naman, puwedeng, per bahay lalagyan mo ng ganyan. So 'yan, 'no? So, low cost nga siya, okay. Disadvantage, yun nga lang, requires simple questions, no probing opportunity, no control over who fills. Di mo alam kung sino magfi-fill up at napaka-low ng response rate. Okay, napaka-low ng response rate. Okay? Personal interview, ito naman, no? So, etong mga 'to, siyempre magpapa-schedule ka pa, no? Okay? Which is the most popular technique of data collection talaga, personal interview. Okay? Now, let's have the advantage. Flexibility in questioning. Bigla ka may naisip, tanong mo agad, no? Pwede 'yon, no? Control over the interview situation kasi ikaw yung nagtatanong, you have the control whether skip ko ba 'to o dagdagan ko pa, nasa sa'yo. High response rate, halos lahat masasagutan. Okay? Collection of supplement data, andiyan din siya. Okay? Now, the disadvantage is yan, mahal, no? Okay. Kailangan may token ka, no? Minsan kailangan magbayad ka pa, no? Okay. So, respondents' hesitation on sensitive topics. Okay. So, greater staff requirement. So, minsan, syempre, dapat professional, no? Marunong mag-English, no? Nakapag-aral. Okay. So, yung mga ganyan. Okay. How about telephone interview? Tignan naman natin ng telephone interview. Telephone interview demonstrates the same structural characteristics as standard interview and technique. Nag-iba lang ng medium, no? Nag-iba lang siya ng medium. So, through phone nga lang. So, advantage, moderate cost, di naman kung only, yung mga no? Higher response rate then, okay? You could record also. Disadvantage, hesitation to discuss sensitive topic, broken off interview, minsan nawawalan ng signal, and no supplement information. Okay? So, yan, no? So, mail surveys involve sending a cover letter and questionnaires to the specific person. So, the questionnaires are totally self-explanatory, clear, and simple. Okay? Advantages of questionnaires. Okay? Less expensive. Quick result, no? Less opportunity for bias and wide coverage. Ito yung mga advantages kapag yung questionnaires nyo nakasulat. Okay? Ito yung mga advantages. Disadvantages naman, kapag di ba, nakasulat tapos naka-mail, yan, low education, disliking to write, disliking to read, no interest in the topic, yan mga yan. Yan mga disadvantage mo. Halimbawa, ayaw nila magsulat, no? Paano mo sila mapipilit magsulat? Ayaw nila. Okay? Minsan ayaw nila yung topic. Wala ka ring magagawa. Okay? No supervision. So, pwedeng sino ang pwedeng kulang o kaya buo yung nila, sagutan nila, yung ganyan, no? Pero still, no, hindi clear, hindi 100% yung may squeeze out mo. Okay? Itong mga to, when to design? So, kung meron kang problem, okay? Kung meron kang problem, so sa mga sinabi nyo sa akin, meron namang problem talaga. Literature review. So, magtitingin ka ng literature review. May same na bang, when we say literature review, meron na bang same na study na kagaya ng sayo? Titignan mo ngayon, no? Okay, so meron kang variables, operationalization, and then literature review ulit, sampling and questionnaire construction. Ito na yung mga yan. Okay? So, ganyan yung gagawin. If you're going to decide to do a survey. Okay? So sampling, pag sinabi nating sampling, the process of choosing some of representative members from the target population. Okay? Meron tayong probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Halimbawa, from out of 100, mamimili ka lang kung ilan lang doon. Those are sampling. Okay? So, probability sampling, napaka-simple lang siya, no? Random lang siya. Okay? Halimbawa, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, ganon, no? So, yan. Okay, so meron kang simple random sampling, systematic, cluster, stratified, multi-phase, multi-stage, panel, and spatial. Okay, meron tayong non-probability, accidental sampling, purposive, quota sampling, snowball sampling, etc. Hindi naman natin to masyadong i-cover kasi masyado silang madami. Okay, structure of your questionnaire, cover letter, instruction, and then the main body. Yan lang siya. Okay? Okay, so the main objective and social significance of paano ba gagawin yung details ng cover letter, no? So usually cover letter naman ano yan. Ilalagay mo lang ano yung objective nung ginagawa mong survey. Sino yung nag-sponsor, tsaka sino yung mga members of team. Okay? Bakit sila yung napili mong mag-answer ng survey? Okay? And you also disclose issue related to ethics. Okay. Yun yung laman ng cover letter mo. Now, instruction, 'di ba? Sabi ko nga sa cover letter, instruction then the body, no? So, yung instruction, nakalagay lang doon, are they going to fill the questionnaire? Okay? Are they going to check? Okay? To tick, mga ganon. So, those are instruction. Mag-fall sila under instruction. Then the main body includes the question. Okay? The content, yung structure, yung format, and then the wording. Hanggat maaari, yung questionnaire mo dapat madali siyang maintindihan. Hindi siya mahirap intindihin. Okay? So, meron kayo questionnaire format. Pwede siyang logical order or transition and flow. So, tignan natin. Kung meron dito eh. Okay. Ito baka meron tayong mga ibang topic for this questionnaire formats, no? Oo. Okay. Now, steps in questionnaire construction. Okay, ito yung mga pwede nating tips on how are we going to do questionnaires, no? Okay, preparation, step 1. So, decision for the most suitable type of questions determine the way how it will be managed. Okay? So, pwede tayong magtingin ng mga different sets of questionnaires, guidance from the proper experts. Depende sa field of study na ginagawa mo. Okay? Step 2, constructing the first draft. Okay? I-construct mo na yung first draft mo. Okay? Implementing to decide what method of questionnaires are you going to do. And then the secondary and tertiary questions. Kasi 'di ba, sa questionnaires mo, hindi lang 'yan isa, hindi lang 'yan dalawa. Minsan meron silang sets of categories, no? Self-critic. Okay? Ikaw mismo, titignan mo kung tama ba yung ginagawa, yung mga nakalagay doon. Is it in order? Mamaya, alimbawa, nagtatanong ka ng tungkol dito tapos biglang magja-jump. Tapos babalik na naman. Okay? So, titignan mo din 'yon. Okay? Currently kasi wala pa tayong example ng mga sets of questionnaires. Maybe babalikan natin yung mga yan. Okay, next is external scrutiny. Scrutiny, ito naman is yung mag-a-add ka, magdi-delete ka, o minsan mag-change ka depending on experts' suggestion. No? So kaya minsan, 'di ba, kapag ka magsa-survey ka, hindi naman kung ano yung naisip mo, yun na yun, no? Hindi pwedeng ganon. Minsan, kailangan, ang gagawin mo muna is what? Papa-check mo muna yung survey na yon. Okay? So, re-examination and revision. So, yan, no? Pagka nakita na kung ano yung dapat palitan, revise na. Okay? Revise na. Okay? Next, pre-testing. Selection of small samples. Okay? So, pwede na mag-fill up ng questionnaire and pwede mo nang i-analyze based dun sa small sample lang. Halimbawa, nag-try ka lang muna sa 10, 20, 30, small samples lang yung mga yon. Okay? Tapos again, revision ulit, no? Kung halimbawa may nakita ulit na parang there's need to be done or edit with the help of expert, no? Ganun ulit, gagawin ulit. So, yan. Second pre-test, no? Ito na naman. Okay? After you revise the questionnaires, okay? After you adjusted it and revised it, ipapamigay mo ulit. Okay? Then, final draft and formulation, ito na yon, checking of spelling, legibility, instruction, spaces for response. Even yung mga spacing niyan kasama, no? Kung ilang page yung survey, no? Okay? Kasama yung mga yun. Now, we have types of questions. Meron tayong tinatawag na primary questions and secondary. Okay? So, example of primary, who is your boss in home? The secondary provides info of the secondary issues. Halimbawa, who is your boss at home? Pagka sinagot, meron ka secondary question. Ilang taon na siya? Ganon. Those are no? Those are secondary questions. Okay? Tertiary questions, direct questions, indirect questions. Mga example, do you believe in God? Ito yung mga direct questions eh. Okay? Indirect questions, do you think that PPL of your age and your status believe in God? Yung mga ganun. So, indirect questions. So, ito, tinatanong sa'yo, okay, yung direct questions, diretso, tinatanong sa'yo. Pero itong indirect questions, it's like, I am asking you in behalf of the other population. Parang ganun, no? Okay? Yan, no? Now, we have types of question pa rin, suggestive question, filter and contingency, fixed, alternative, and open-ended. Yung mga open-ended, yung mga parang bitin, yung mga ganun, no? Contingency, ano yung mga pwedeng gawin? Okay? Okay, suggestive questions, what are the suggestion of the people on the survey? Mga ganun. Okay? So, response format should be accurate, exhaustive, mutually exclusive, and unidimensional. Ano ba 'tong mga 'to? Okay, kailangan accurate. Usually kasi pagka mga open-ended surveys, mahirap silang i-gauge. Kasi kaya ka nga gumagawa ng survey is for you to gauge, no? I-gauge mo. So, mahirapan ka pagka hindi mo na-gauge ng maayos. Okay? So, pwede kang yung response sets mo is numerical from 1 to 10, mga gano, 1 to 5, no? Pwedeng verbal scale, halimbawa, average, poor, yung mga ganyan. Increasing length scale, graphical responses, numerical, thermometer scale, and face scale. Yung mga ganon. 3-star, 2-star, mga ganyan. So, nasa sa inyo. Okay, di ba? May mga ganyan. Yung rate this up. 2-star, 3-star, yung mga ganon. So, graphical responses yung mga yan. Thermometer, halos di pa ako masyadong nag-aano ng thermometer kasi pero yung thermometer, mukha lang siyang thermometer pero 1, 2, 3, ganun pa rin naman siya. Okay? Yan. Ladder, you have Likert, multiple choice options, semantic, ranking scale, fill in the blanks, and etc. Marami yan. Okay? Marami sila. Now, rules of questionnaire construction. Babalikan pa natin yung ibang topic dito, okay? So, kung halimbawa medyo mabilis, mababalikan pa natin yung ibang topic dito. Meron pa tayong mga discussions expounding more of this, no? So, ito kasi parang introduction well surveys eh. So, rules of questionnaire construction, well presented, easy to follow. Okay, good response categories, clear instruction, space for answers, ambiguity, what not to ask, and the language. So, yan. Yun yung mga rules natin. Okay, give space to answer, Dapat clear yung instruction. Okay? Dapat yung response has a good categories and so. Okay? Uh, Next is you could do print and colors, the size, the ethics, no? Minsan kasi yung survey, no, kung black and white siya minsan hindi binabasa, sobrang liit, hindi rin masyadong pinapansin. So minsan appearance talaga would determine whether they're going to accomplish the survey or not. Yan, so next is interviews. So meron tayong tinatawag na structured versus non-structured, standardized versus non-standardized. Okay, yung mga type of interview to. Okay? Personal and non-personal, yung mga yan. Okay? Meron tayong oral versus written, open versus guided. Ito mga to siguro i-discuss natin sa mga susunod na ano. Okay? So, yun, no? So, more of survey, the discussion is more of surveys, no? I will be uploading the activity for you, no? And then you're going to submit it on Thursday. Okay? So that's it for our discussion for today, for our short discussion for today. And I'll see you guys next meeting.